I was just looking for a fabric that I knew I had in a box, and this happened. Are you gonna help me tidy up? Oh my. Welcome to Cosplayland. I am Alice and this is my fabric stash. Yeah, maybe I just bought a little bit of too many fabrics and I have a lot of projects that I thought I was going to be starting and I did not. So I think I need to just, start tidying this up somehow. So I thought I would just let you know how it goes and just show you what I'm going to be doing with all this. Theoretically, it should all go in that cupboard which is behind me, and it's great for fabric, but I had this brilliant idea of just I like buying my fabrics for particular projects and I put them together because you need different colors for different things, and I just ended up putting all in baskets and in boxes, which it seemed like a really good idea. But at the same time, because they were in a box or in a basket, I couldn't see what was inside, so I kind of tend to forget what I have bought. And yeah, you end up with a bunch of stuff for projects that you may or may not do, and maybe sometimes you end up with the same fabric for several projects in different bundles, and maybe you could have just used one of those and just buy it again, because yeah, I'm trying to not hoard so much fabric anymore lately. Yeah, that's a lie. But what happens is that sometimes you do have a fabric in your stash that maybe you are saving from something else, and maybe you don't need to save it for something else, because what happens is that by the time you make it, unless you are not making it straight away, what happens is that maybe there's another fabric that you like more, maybe there's a new technique that you learned and you think that fabric won't work anymore. And it has happened to me a million times. I've bought fabrics for a project and then I realize, you know what, I don't even like this fabric, I'm just gonna use something completely different, and you end up with a lot of things like all this. So yeah, I think it's time to tidy up a little bit. Let's see. Okay, I'm just gonna show you a little bit the kind of things that I've got, and basically I had all these inside these boxes which were just stored at the bottom of my cupboard, and it's great but at the same time not so great. I also had some baskets and I couldn't see what was inside those, which meant some of my fabrics were untidy and I really need to do something about it. Some of my fabrics are tidy and I'll show you how I make them stand up as well, but yeah, I just need to fit everything else here. And of course the best thing to do is just try to get all those fabrics out, and I'm just going to be tidying them and put them in different piles so I can see later how much stuff I've got and where I can put it. Oh, and please ignore the cobwebs on some of my fabrics because, yeah, I should definitely be using these fabrics. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I have done so far. I have taken all the fabrics which were not tidy, but I have left the ones that I already have up in the shelves because those are fine. I may be pulling some of these ones out because there's a lot of fabric like velvets and bulky fabric at the back as well, so I'll see what I'm going to be doing with that in a minute. What I have done so far is all the other fabrics that are not folded correctly or were inside the boxes or anything else, I put on the floor, and I'm just going to be deciding which ones are going to stay in a bundle for a cosplayer, for example. That's my Lisa. Yeah, I started her like 2 years ago and I have not even started. Well done, Alice. And yeah, some of them will stay in bundles, but I'm gonna just sort them, like put them differently. But there are some fabrics like these ones, for example, that are just like plain fabrics that could be used for anything, I guess. And it's like single pieces of fabric, so those are going to end up being back in the stash there somehow, or I'll see what I do. But first I'm going to decide which ones stay in a bundle for cosplays and which ones will just go to the general fabric stash. Again, I started making bundles for the ones that I knew I was going to use for something in particular, but most of them just got out of the boxes and just put in a pile so I can put them back. Once I know how much fabric I've got, it should be theoretically easy to decide where it goes and how to tidy it. I've been tidying for a while. This is all we've got so far. These are just a few projects that I have all the materials gathered that I have not started. You can see it's quite a few, probably there's more somewhere hidden, and I got rid of a few more. And here I just have like piles of all the other cosplays that were also in piles for something in particular, but I thought because they were just a single fabric or too bulky, I'll just make them into piles. So these are like special fabrics like leather that I need to be careful with, that I have no idea what it is. Oh yeah, those are like the shiny ones that I can't really put in there because they will just fall and can't do anything with it, so those goes into drawers. I also have some t-shirts that I bought for things, and you know, that is a bodysuit that I made and I didn't know where it was, and it was also there. Somehow I just ended up with the pile for the just in case things. The bulky fabrics that probably will go at the bottom. Then I usually have my black and whites in a different pile from everything else. A few things that will just go back to my stash because it's just like random white and black, so you can get that anytime. And these are all the fabrics that do have a name and a character. I could tell you names for each character I bought these fabrics for. For example, I bought this one for Nilo because I thought it would be super cool, but then seeing the reference pictures, it's just too green, so as much as I love it, I'm not going to be using it for it, so it's going to be living in my stash for a bit. And if we go back to this stash, I've had, for example, Black Canary for years in my stash. One of these days I'll do it. This was going to be Mera, and again forever. This one was going to be a version of Misa Misa, and look, I've got like, I think I have like 3 death notes in total because I had one, it was in Spain, I thought I was gonna make it, so I didn't have time to go and get it, so I bought another one, so I have like 3 death notes for this cosplay that I have not even done. That's gonna be one of my new cosplays, so that's gonna be at the top. What else? Oh yeah, as I said, that's Lisa. Spent a fortune on these fabrics because I had to buy them online, and it's been here for 2 years and I have them all there. More things. I'm not gonna tell you this one, but if you know, you know. And if you don't know, that's another one. Again, this basically is the same fabric for the same character. It's different fabrics, but I bought it twice because I have forgotten that I have bought that one. And here we have another one. So again, I have 2 pairs of the same thing because I have forgotten that I had already got them, or I couldn't find them when I started, and there you go. I bought this fabric probably 3 times and I put it out of the stash because it's just stupid to have 3 of the same with the same bundle. I have this one twice. This one was going to be, maybe still will be, it's going to be a Kitana, but I bought the fabric twice because the first time I wasn't sure if I had bought enough, so because I didn't make it, I made sure I had extra. This one was going to be a Melina vampire version, and you can see I'm not happy with the fabric. I've bought it 3 times for the same design, and I have not even started. I also have this fabric somewhere in my leather stash there, so yeah, as you can see, I have a lot of duplicates, and I'm gonna be just pulling all those white and blacks from my stash out and see what's behind it, which is all the velvets and everything. And I think I'm just gonna keep all that white and put everything else over there and make little bundles with the ones which I want to keep in bundles and put them at the top, but in a way that I can see them. And once again, here I am making little bundles of fabric with all the projects that I should have made and didn't, and have been in my stash forgotten for sometimes years and years and years. So yeah, I think I'll definitely be making some of these at some point this year and next year's, because I do need to reduce the amount of fabric I've got in my stash. And we have some gems here. I have some nice fabric for amazing characters, and yeah, maybe they are not fashionable anymore, but when I bought it, I really was interested, and I still am, because if I like a character, I usually still like it a few years later. So yeah, you will be seeing some of them eventually, at some point, probably in the channel. I'm just gonna show you what I've done. I've basically made these little bundles with the fabrics I want to use for each project, and I just tied them up with a little ribbon that I had, like very cheap, that I got in a bundle for almost nothing. Like, it's terrible, I will never use that for anything. And then I just made these little things just saying which character it is. I could just write on the back what parts or what materials I have or I need or something, but for now it's just gonna stay like that. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm just gonna be putting them in these baskets, so I still can see more or less the other projects, but I can just like grab one project directly and just start with it whenever I feel like it. And hopefully I do not have many of these left. Most of them are now in the bundles of fabric. I regret many life choices I've made. Like, there's a bunch of fabrics that I bought for several cosplays that may do in the future, but definitely not with this fabric. I really thought I could make a dress with this fabric, like that. No, I don't think that would have worked. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just putting these, and I'm just going to be tackling these parts in a moment. I'm just going to try to fold them as best as I can. I'll tell you how I do it, but I don't have enough cardboard to put them up like I do the rest of my stash, so I'll be doing that another time. But for today, I'm just going to tidy that and just put them back there. And yeah, my cat just decided that that wasn't tidy enough, so I'm just going to have to take everything up there and just tidy as well. So wish me luck. I just wanted to show you guys. I think I'm a little bit obsessed with black spandex. I've found all this, and there's a lot of just more stretchy fabric everywhere. A lot of black, quite a few whites. And look at all this white. I have meters and meters of white on the other stash as well. I keep buying white stuff and black stuff because you do use it for everything, but come on, this is a lot. These two fabrics were also for a project that I never did because I didn't like this one fabric. It was supposed to be Supergirl, but I did not like the color, so it never happened. Terrible choice of fabric because the cloak can't be done with spandex. It can, but it shouldn't. So yeah, all this fabric and all that fur, and there is more fur somewhere else, like I have like a bunch somewhere else. This bulky fabric, this was going to be the cloak for Padme, I never did it. And this was going to be for Kylo Ren. I actually made the helmets, but I never did the rest. That was going to be for Kami-sama, never happened. That was going to be a cloak for me. Oh my god, there is so much stuff here. Alice, what were you thinking? So yeah, I still need to tidy up all this stuff. Okay, I'm almost done, but first I'm going to show you how I'm just folding my fabric to put it back in my stash. So the ones that are very small, like less than half a meter, I just roll like that, and I have a basket for them. I'll put them away in a minute. And the ones that are a little bit longer, about a meter or so, this is what I do. I have these cardboard, which is, it's actually for comics because I'm a geek. So this is cardboard that you can get to back comics. It's quite thin and it's already pre-cut in these like rectangles, which are perfect for my cardboard over there. So what I'm going to be doing is, in order to keep my fabric up, I'm just going to be putting the fabric around this. And the way to do it is I literally fold the fabric. Let me see. And I just need to fold it a couple of times, as best as I can. So I'll fold it in half, and then I'm gonna fold it in half again. This probably is like the worst fabric to show you because it's very slippery, so I'll do it with another one. So this one is easier. So I just fold it in half, and then I'm gonna fold it in half again as many times as I need to until it fits the cardboard more or less. If I need to just like fold it a little bit more, sometimes I do, sometimes I let it like go a little bit bigger on the sides, and I literally just roll my fabric like that, and it looks very pretty, and I can just put it back on my cupboard. So I'm gonna be doing this a few more times, and I'm just going to start putting all the fabric back in place. So this is how my stash is looking right now. I think it's tidier, there isn't any fabrics out of the way, and yeah, maybe the top is not the prettiest, but at least they are all contained right now. I decided to put the bulkier fabrics at the top because those I will be using the least, if at all, and also it's better to have like fewer fabrics, so I only have to reach for so many fabrics, and here I need to get like the little steps to get there. To be honest, I also need the steps for that because I'm tiny. But yeah, here I just put like the bulkier fabrics that I couldn't fold because they were either too heavy or too awkward or too shiny, or I had a lot of them, so those went up there. Again, hopefully when I use them I can just like grab one of them and it's the whole lot, and that's out of the way as well. This part stayed the same, which is my favorite part. Ideally I want to do everything like that, and I will probably do that once I just reduce a little bit those fabrics at the top. I may start getting more cardboard and just putting those in cardboard as well, so they look pretty like these ones. But yeah, they are tidied by color, like from the purples, reds, yellows, magicobs, blues, and some fancy fabrics over there in black. There's some beige color, pinks, like dark reds and greens over here. And here is where I have all the white fabric in the world, because just look at it. It's just white fabric. It's just different types of white fabric and different types of black fabric as well, and I have a lot. And yeah, I decided to put the bulkier or weirder fabrics at the back. For example, this one, which is super nice. So those are the bigger pieces at the back, and most of the ones underneath I have here already. So once I finish with these ones, I'll just go to the ones at in the back. Same for this lot. I don't know how many meters of fabric is on that lot. I didn't even know I had it. I only have a couple of rolls because I don't like buying rolls. I think it's a waste of material because I usually like need 1 meter, 2 meters. But these ones were on offer. They were only like £3 to £5 a roll for several meters, and I decided to keep them like that because those are leather fabrics, and as you know, if they get any wrinkles, it's very difficult to, any creases, it's very difficult to get them straight again. So I kept those in the rolls. And the other fabrics that I also had, which are all like fake leather and stuff in different colors, mostly leftovers from all the characters, or again, I like buying the browns and the blacks when they are on offer. I actually discovered I have a ton of black leather. I didn't know I had this, and I was going to buy a lot of meters of very expensive fabric to do a leather jacket, and I didn't know I had that lot there. So yeah, now at least I don't have to buy more fabric now. But yeah, these ones are rolled, and some of them they have like a tube on the inside so they stay up and they don't get creased. And finally, here at the bottom I have my ready to go choose a fabric and make a cosplay. Like for example, you have Lisa here. So the idea is that whenever I'm using my iron board that goes straight on front of this, I will be able to see these projects, and will be like, whenever I need to do a project or start something, it's like, hey, wait a minute, you actually have all the fabrics for that, so you can start it. And I only have to grab a bundle and just start my project, because I have, if not everything, almost everything together on those bundles, so it's just a matter of choosing which one. I have a few more fabrics hidden in there, but those are just there because they are gonna be probably my next project, so I didn't put them into bundles because it's a bit silly. I'm probably going to be starting with that one in a week or so. So yeah, they are not in the best position, but at least they are somewhere for now, out of the way. And yeah, I think that's it. That was a lot of fabric. I am so tired. I don't know how many hours it took me to just study all this, but it is done. Right now, probably I should just be telling you something important, like how you should be just saving fabric and just like tidying your stash and just not overbuy stuff and all that kind of stuff. But I believe you've just seen this, you already know that, so I'm not gonna do it. If you just pity me and just like this video, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. And yeah, that's actually a good idea. Have you seen all these fabrics? So if you have any ideas of some characters I could be making with this fabric that I have in my stash, or maybe you saw some of the projects that you would like me to retake at some point, just leave it in the comments. Just let me know which one is the next one that you would like me to be doing, because yeah, I'm gonna try my best to use more fabric from my stash and stop buying fabric compulsively, because I do not need so much fabric. I think I can do absolutely anything with this. So, oh yeah, and by the way, there's more, but it's hidden. That's somewhere else. So yeah, that's been the video for today. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, remember that if you do want some ideas to decide which cosplay to do next, you can just check this channel, because You have lots of tutorials on how to make cosplays, and you also get all the patterns in the link in the description as well, so make sure to check it out. And I will be just sitting down for a bit and just taking the rest of the week off just to decide which cosplay to do next. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye. Oh, you Beth.